Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paolo Del Rosario.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Diego Dario. And in tonight's game plan, we'll take a look at the superstars that did not get the call-up in the upcoming 2023 NBA All-Stars.
We'll also name some fantasy picks for the highly anticipated three-point shootout and slam dunk contest at All-Star Weekend. And we'll hear some courtside stories from the PVL All-Filipino Conference. Full of sports fans, let's get in the game. Well, the NBA has released its list of all-stars, and with all the celebration comes a mix of reactions from superstars that did not make the cut. Now, with me to talk about all of the biggest all-star snubs are NBA hype host Mikey Reyes and NBA all-star analyst Diego Dario.
I'll chime in a little bit. Si Mikey talaga yung ano dito.
Oo nga eh. yung gusto ko, like, you guys had hot takes, and of course, the entire social
Mr. Hot
media.
Takes dapat ang nandito.
dapat
Hot take ang gusto mo.
Shoot first na lang. Shoot first.
Shoot first na lang nandito.
Since all-stars get buckets and make shots,
Of
shoot
course.
first naman.
Tapos all-star analyst pa natin si Diego. So let's start off first with Mikey's list. Kasi Mikey, first of all, you take a look at the rosters. And obviously, a few snubs stand out. Pero do you feel that all of these guys deserve to be here? Kasi if you have a snub, you have to take one guy out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what people don't understand. You can't just bring up names that didn't make the All-Star team. You have to bring up a name that you have to pull out of the All-Star team.
Right.
And for you to be in that lineup, for sure, may credibility yung coaches, may credibility yung mga bumoto doon. And you already know that those people already in those two teams are deserving. So, you know, you gotta pull someone out, which is tough.
I mean, we gotta remember, it's only 12 per conference, right?
Yeah.
From the East and the West. And with the way that NBA is played right now, so many scorers, I mean, people scoring 40, 50 points. You can choose from so many players, but at the end of the day, only 12 can make that line.
All right, so when we go through the list, we're gonna name your guy, then name the guy you want to take out for him.
Ooh,
Kasi
that is
mahirap yun
tough.
eh.
Can we not do
That's
that?
tough.
No! Okay, fine. Ito, the Aaron Fox. Kasi you picked him, Mikey.
Argument,
All right.
Aaron Fox.
How would you argue Darren Fox?
Well, before Mikey starts, the Aaron actually, I think he will be a reserve because of the injury.
Yes.
Because of the injury.
But good job though that you chose
Exactly,
Aaron
right?
Fox.
Sakto.
Number 3 in the West,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
I mean, how can you not put Darren Fox there? Most points in the fourth by any player, most clutch player in that regard this season. And the way he's been playing, the Kings wouldn't be where they are right
That's
now
true.
if not for Darren Fox. It kinda medyo inikot niya talaga yung performance ng Kings because of how he's been playing.
I mean, one of the top teams in the West right now are the Kings because of the Aaron Fox and of course the other All-Star in Domantas Sabonis.
Of course. And of course, on the other side naman, Jax, go to your first guy. From the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson, 23.9 points per game, 3.5 rebounds per game. You know, a lot of people have a lot to say about Brunson in particular, so bakit siya?
Well, medyo may bias ako dito. I have you know,
Bias sa maliliit.
exactly. I respect small guys
Okay.
who are in the league, in the NBA, and just providing buckets everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of those kinds of players, and Jalen Brunson definitely is. And he's not the typical na he would shoot a lot of threes, he would just go layups. Sometimes pumoposte pa to at his height.
Yeah.
Trying to post up other guards in the NBA, even taller than him. So just the fact that, you know, the Knicks are in 7th place, they're in playoff contention. I think Jalen Brunson at least deserves his flowers to make it to the All-Star.
On the other end, I think...
On and off the court si Jalen Brunson may game, ha? Si
Right.
Iggy,
That's true.
viral,
Woo,
I saw that.
Ito, yung pick mo.
I think he has a family.
Sorry.
Okay, balik muna tayo sa pick ni Mikey. Mikey, James Harden. Easily the player that most people were most upset about not making the playoffs.
They're just guys.
All-Stars rather, sorry.
They're just guys in the league that you feel like automatic.
Yeah.
Yung parang
Right.
faces of the league.
Right.
Like the Beard, man. He's been there for years. And I feel like this has been his best year in like how many years since he joined Brooklyn. This is his best year so far.
Yeah.
Dito ngayon sa Philadelphia. I think his performance now is more or less the same as how he was with the Rockets. So, I was just expecting him to be there. Number one of his performance, best in recent years, and also just the name.
Yeah.
The magnitude of the hype surrounding James.
I mean, if you take a look at James Harden's numbers right now and compare it to his MVP season, it's actually
Same.
very similar.
Yeah.
In this
Biased ka
season.
rin ba?
James Harden, idol ko.
Yeah.
Nakita ko yan in real
Yeah.
life. So.
Okay, actually, before we move on to yours, Jegs, another guy that you picked out here, relatively the same in terms of yung name recall. Itong si Jimmy Butler. Again, great numbers for Jimmy Butler again. But then, why him in particular?
To be honest with you, I was just asked for 3 names. Him to me is I'm not really super sure if I can pull someone out for Jimmy Butler because Bam is already there. I just wanted someone to represent the Heat. But like what you're saying, a household name recall, and we love the Jimmy Butler content during All-Star Week. All-Star Week.
Bro, we gotta give it to Jimmy Butler. When he was asked, what are your reactions when you didn't make it to the All-Star Game? He's like, I'm good. I mean, he had made vacation siya. He can go on vacation, and that's Jimmy Butler for you guys. He doesn't really care if he's an all-star or not. He's just gonna provide buckets and try to win for Miami.
And para kay Diego naman, another small scoring guard. We have to talk about Trae Young.
Right. So another, I could say 3-stripe brother ni James Harden, Trae Young. I mean, the Hawks are currently at 8th right now in the East. So medyo questionable when it comes to that. But Trae Young, he's averaging 26.9 points and 10.2 assists per game. When you're averaging a double-double, I think it should be automatic that you're part of an all-star team. And if you're gonna ask me who to take out, I think Trae Young deserves it more than Drew Holiday. Although Drew just scored 40 recently, I think Trae should be the all-star. But, winning matters in the NBA, so Drew Holiday, the Bucks are one of the top teams in the East, so I gotta give it to him too.
Well, expectations is right now that si De'Aaron Fox is going to take up the next All-Star reserve slot. But then after him, obviously we don't know what's going to happen up until the All-Star games. Amongst the 4 guys that we have on the list here, Mikey, ikaw muna, who do you feel deserves to have the next call-up after De'Aaron Fox?
James Harden for sure. James Harden. I mean, again, the name recall and how he's been playing. It's great that Diego actually compared the numbers between his MVP season and now. How can you put up MVP numbers just a few years ago and not be an all-star?
And Jegs, I'm assuming you agree?
I agree. Definitely agree. James Harden has to be that guy.
All right, so we're done with that, and let's see whether or not that type of prediction comes through.
Well, still NBA All-Star after the break. As we move to the upcoming 3-point contest, shootout, and the slam dunk contest, stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
Welcome back to the game. Now, no All-Star weekend would be complete without the highly anticipated three-point shootout and slam dunk contest. Now, still with us to give us their fantasy picks for both these events is NBA Hype host Mikey Reyes and NBA Philippines All-Star analyst Diego Dario. Gentlemen, so unang-una, this is the players that we picked here today are the ones not competing in the current iterations of these contests. Especially the dunk contest. Aminan na natin, not a lot of star names in the dunk contest. Pero, still, it's still one of those things that it might surprise you. Like, there are a few years na hindi mo alam na, oh, magaling pala to. So, let's see whether or not sina Matt McClung and the others there on the list will give us a show. But then, Mikey, you have a few wish list players that you wish would compete in the dunk
NBA
contest.
execs kami ni Mikey, ito yung
pipiliin nyo. Alright, so ikaw muna, Mikey. You have Ja Morant, Derrick Jones Jr., and Zion Williamson for the dunk contest. Why the three of them in particular? Especially Zion Williamson, because he's such a high-impact dunker. I don't know how the showmanship will work.
I feel like he's just gonna be the next coming of Dwight Howard, who's known to be a power dunker. But with that kind of athleticism, you know that he can, put up great dunks, all-star caliber dunks. So with Zion, and also I think the hype between him and Ja Morant, coming into the league at the same time, the hype between those two guys. And I just want Derrick Jones to defend his title. I just want him to defend his title.
Yeah, no, that's a great pick. And of course, sa kabila naman for Diego, he also picked Ja Morant, but he also has LeBron James and
Ngayon pa ba?
and Shadon Sharp. Okay, all right. So we all know. Okay, Ja Morant, I think medyo given na yun eh. LeBron.
Okay, so LeBron is basically chasing accolades after accolades, and on the record, he actually said that he wanted.
In 2005, he said
like 10 years, 15 years that he was gonna actually join the slam dunk contest.
Yeah.
I mean, why not, bro? You just broke the record. Why not win this slam dunk contest just to make it viral? I mean, just to make the Lakers relevant, I guess, for the Laker fans there.
Are we assuming that he's going to win it if he does it?
He has to. That's the only.
Mapapahiya pa
Maybe that's the only knack in his resume,
Hindi
right?
ka pwedeng exec ng Lakers, bro. Pinag-dunk contest
Bro,
mo
kasi
si LeBron.
MJ, bro.
Pinagod mo.
MJ won the dunk contest and LeBron didn't, so why not?
Kobe
won it also.
Shadon Sharp.
Shadon Sharp, if you check all his highlights, search Shadon Sharp dunks as a rookie.
Alam ko si Shannon
He's had so many super highlight reel dunks. The guy can fly, and it's gonna be exciting how he's gonna provide dunks here. And Ja Morant, man, I want to see him because kahit yung mga missed dunks niya is already a highlight.
Yeah.
It gets posted on IG, on everywhere.
Okay, ito naman for the three-point shooting contest. A few of the guys that you picked are actually on this one. So, Mikey, you have picked Buddy Hield, Damian Lillard, and Klay Thompson. Again, it's a nice wish list, but then in particular, bakit si Damian Lillard will be there, but bakit si Klay who will not be part of this upcoming three-point shootout?
With Klay's shot, kasi I feel like a game shooter is different from a three-point shootout shooter.
Right.
You have to have a shot that is medyo hindi masyadong effortful, medyo effortless ka because you're talking about 25 shots. So with Klay, and we all know what he can do when he gets hot. So I just, mamimiss ko lang si Klay. He's participated in his own dunk three-point contest.
And his fundamentals too. It's just fun to
diba?
watch.
Parang ang ganda
Like
masyado.
basic, square.
Parang naka-boomerang.
Yeah, exactly. Parang if you want to have a form na
lang.
maganda,
Naglo-loop.
Klay Thompson eh, no?
Sa kabila naman, you picked actually Steph Curry to be part of your list, as well as Yuta Watanabe. Okay, why?
Guys,
or Yuta muna, Yuta.
Don't sleep on this guy, Yuta Watanabe. He's actually #1 in three-point percentage this season.
Kala ko sa Yuta yung pangalan niya, tapos
48%.
Yuta yung venue, di ba?
Pwede rin, and Yuta yung team mo. And kasi ikaw yung host ngayon. So Yuta Watanabe. But he's been shooting well. Good job to Yuta Watanabe. I mean, Steph, #1 in all-time three-points made. You just want to see him if he's healthy. He's injured right now.
Yeah. So right now we're going to take a look at the actual three-point shooting contest participants. It's Tyrese Halliburton, Tyler Hero, Buddy Hield, Kevin Huerter she wrote, Damian Lillard, Lauri Markkanen, Anthony Simons, and Jason Tatum. Amongst this list, early favorites here, first thoughts, like you hear them out. who's your pick?
I mean, I gotta go with my guy, Dame.
Sabi ni
I mean, I'm a Dame fan, bro. I'm a Portland Trailblazers
Oh.
fan because of Dame, so Dame has to win it. He's never won it, I think.
he's never won it.
So I think Dame should be the favorite here. And I have to say also, usually slam dunk contest yung main event sa All-Star, but
It
I
might be
think
the
this
three-point shooting.
year it might be the three-point shootout.
How about you? Who's your pick here for the three-point shooting?
I don't know why I want Jason Tatum to win this.
You got Jason to
I don't know why.
Really?
I don't know why. I just want a scorer to win.
Like a pure scorer.
a
you know,
pure
like,
scorer
who
who's
posts
off the
up.
dribble.
Yeah, yeah.
And like Paul Pierce won it. Diba?
Right,
Paul Pierce
right,
won
you're
it.
right.
He won it, right? He won it. He
Yeah,
won
yeah,
it.
yeah. Yeah,
parang
so
gusto ko
How
lang-
about Pau's guy, Laurie Markkanen?
You know what?
Market.
You know, I
Good.
want him to get it, pero
We gotta
unbiased
give
pick
him his
muna.
flowers.
I'm actually going to pick Buddy Hield here.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Buddy.
Hield because I think he is a three.
And then
the
set
way,
shot pa
yeah,
siya.
the way he shoots, feeling ko swak sa.
Most threes siya.
This season,
Exactly.
right.
So, feeling ko swak siya sa contest na to. At sa kabila naman, of course, the dunk contest. I'm not going to pretend that you guys know how these guys will dunk.
Okay, I saw
especially-
Jericho
Oo.
Sims once. He's a big guy. So it's gonna be interesting how he's gonna go up against these guards.
Yeah.
Mac McClung, Trey Murphy, and Kenyon Martin Jr.
Yeah, and we were talking a bit how like Mac McClung is probably the most unheralded guy here because
But
GD
he's
player
also
siya.
the most viral guy
Yeah,
there.
right,
Actually,
right.
nung nakita ko yung apat, siya lang nakilala ko. Si Kenyon Martin kasi, daddy niya yung kilala
Yeah,
ko eh. Di ba?
right,
So,
right.
Mac McClung, I think, being a YouTuber or being someone who, you know, a YouTube sensation or a viral guy, I think he's gonna have to put on a show.
I mean, we have seen Mac McClung dunks since high school.
Exactly.
If you follow him on Instagram, on YouTube, he's been dunking since high school. And not just regular dunks, slam dunk contest worthy dunks.
All right, so we still have a bit more time here, or rather not. So you know what? We're gonna see the three-point shooting contest very soon, and these guys say that it might be the highlight of that particular day. And let's see if our guys in the dunk contest can make a big difference. Mikey, maraming salamat.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate the time and all of the input that you gave here today.
Thank you, brother.
So after the break, we'll shift to volleyball as we get a scoop on the latest courtside stories in the PVL. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
You're watching The Game. Thousands of volleyball fans flock to the Big Dome to spend their Valentine's Day at the heart of volleyball. To share the latest courtside stories from the PVL All-Filipino Conference, we have with us PVL insider Alexis Tinsay. Great to have you back, Alexis. And you spent your Valentine's Day also at the Big Dome. You covered those games. And how was that experience so far?
It's so good to be back, Diego
Of course.
and Pao. And syempre nakakakilig to spend with the fans who share the same love with us, which is the love for volleyball. Sabi nga nila, the heart of volleyball continues to beat with
Right.
us,
Right.
especially yesterday.
Okay, so let's start it off with the hottest team in the PVL
Yep.
right now. The
Yes.
Creamline Cool Smashers, 3-0 this season and has not dropped a set yet.
Yep.
Of course, you can't talk about Creamline without talking about their captain of this season, Gia de Guzman. What can you tell us about Gia?
Yes. You know what, Diego and Pao, it's just really an honor to witness Gia as the captain, as our phenom is currently resting and
Yeah.
recovering. And with Gia, she's always been banking on togetherness for years.
Right.
And with their successful AVC stint, nakita natin na dun talaga sila nag-ground with them knowing each other for the past couple of years, knowing each other internally and also externally on the court. And with that, ginusto niyang i-translate yun right now. I asked her what could be the advantage for this open conference. And she told me, alam mo yung advantage talaga namin is our untouched system.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of teams right now in the PVL All-Filipino Conference na may bagong coach, may
Yeah.
bagong roster, but them untouched ang kanilang lineup, untouched ang kanilang management,
Right.
and all they have to do is to upgrade what they've already shown on court.
You know, apart from that, syempre, they have to fill in the gap, which is Eliza Valdez not being
It's a
present
hard gap
at the beginning. Pero itong si Michelle Gumabaw has had a special conference so far. To the point, I feel like she's turning back the clock, and she looks like, even as at the height of her powers back in the day, what can you tell us about how she's been performing so far?
MG has always been a leader in the Creamline Cool Smashers, and she told me, you know what, it's the nth season of Creamline. People might think, hindi ba boring yun na lagi na lang kayong nananalo, wala nang pagkakaiba. And she told me,
Right.
you know what, every season is exciting, lalo na ngayon because gusto nilang masungkit, gusto nilang mabawi yung kanilang podium finish. Because of course, they've always had championships in their belt, but last season, they didn't get to the top four. So ngayon, sabi nila, every game, it's like a championship game for us because we want to show what we've renewed, what strength we've regained, and mapakita nila sa court. And kita natin, it's 3 sweeps.
And you know, just a reminder, winning never gets old. And I think Big MG feels that way too. Let's move on to the Petrogas, because you talked a bit about how a lot of teams have changed coaches, a lot of teams have had to make a lot of adjustments, and you have something about Coach O in particular with Petrogas.
You know what, the fans, Diego and Pao, of course, are really curious as to how Coach O is easing into the Petrogas Angels and
Yeah.
vice versa. Siyempre, sanay din yung Petrogas with the system for years. Ever since 2019, it's been the same.
Yeah.
And with that, sobrang nakakatuwa to know that Gretchen Soltones, Lady Beast in Petrogas Angels, said, you know what, coming from a championship last season, there's no way any change can beat down our confidence. Dahil napakita namin kung ano yung kaya namin last season, kaya din namin gawin ngayon. And it comes down to the motto ngayon na it doesn't matter sino yung coach, it comes down to the players, how they execute the game and how they execute the coach's instructions.
I mean, let's stay here with Coach O. I mean, it's been the storyline for the Petrogas Angels this conference in particular. Pero iba rin yung experience ni Coach O this time because now he's handling veterans
Yes.
in the league. So how is that experience for Coach O?
You know what, si Coach O din, ganun din yung tuwa niya because he's been handling young guns
Yeah.
for the past years. And ngayon, dahil he's handling veterans, there's some sort of mutual understanding we can never explain. Like, it's really with them, it's internal.
Right.
And I actually got to talk to a veteran myself too, si Aiza Maizo Puntillas, and she said, you know what, at this day and age, a lot of the players, they can get boxed into systems for years. So it's so exciting na sa volleyball, you can always learn a new system, even now in the season.
Yeah, you know, of all the veterans you could talk to, Aiza Maizo Pontillas might be the most veteran out of all of them out there, and we love Aiza Maizo, and it's hard to get her on our show, by the way. But moving forward, it's the Cherry Tigo crossovers. When you take a look at the Cherry Tigo crossovers as we move to another team, they're also a team that has a bit of an upgraded system going into
Yes.
this one. Remember, they had that Ilocos Championship back in the day, but then a bit of adjustments rin para sa
Yes.
Cherry Tigo.
Because last season, they actually had a different coach. And now
Yeah.
they're coming back to Coach Aaron Velez. And with Coach A, who handled the Ilocos Championship, madami ng bagong players actually sa Cherry Tigo na hindi na-experience yung coaching niya. So with Alina Becar, who is one of the most proficient setters there.
Yeah.
Sabi niya sa akin, you know what, ang dami talagang pagbabago this season. Pero with that, instead of being a challenge, it's refreshing for them because with their player mindset na, okay, we have to move forward despite all the changes. We have to keep on adjusting double time.
Yeah.
It's really making them mature, not just physically as players, but also emotionally and mentally. And with that, nakaka-excite kasi they have new young guns.
The
Yeah.
newbies,
With
right?
Tigo, they have Bengal Landicho, they have Jaisal De Los Reyes, and of course we have Pongay Gaston, who was
Yeah.
detonating on her debut.
What a debut for
Yeah.
Pongay. And did you cover that game also?
Yes!
Yes,
How
we
was it?
did.
We
Yeah,
did.
we did.
Right.
Yeah. And it was really special seeing her come up big, especially given the fact that she didn't really have a lot of playing time prior or in her past few teams. But you were talking about some of the new ones here. And feeling at home is something that they need to do quickly if they want to challenge for something
Yeah.
more. And I think you have something on that.
And especially with teams, there might be a lot of pressure,
Yeah.
especially with the fans, with the management, with the change of system that, you've been so used to.
Yeah.
Pero yung coaching daw and management ng Cherry Tigo, it's really different from other teams because there's some sort of graceful easing, seeping, like parang tea.
Yeah.
Kumbaga na talagang unti-unti nilang ina-adjust to the point that even the new players, the young players, they don't get pressure. They actually get excited because it's more of, it's the opposite of tough love. And,
Yeah.
sometimes it works also that way. Kaya, sobrang happy talaga yung mga because they feel comfortable.
Yeah.
There's
Well-
some sort of, pressure coming from too much discipline.
Yeah.
So, yung mga iba parang, okay,
They're
we can do
feel
this. They're
free.
warming
Makes
up
so much
sense,
and
right?
they're getting used to it.
So, you mentioned they're like tea, so it feels like they're steeping in the right direction.
Yeah.
All right,
I like
so
that.
thank you very much, Alexis Tinsay, for all the stories. We can't wait to have you back again soon for more PVL Courtside stories.
Yes,
Thank
of
you,
course.
Alexis.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for joining us. I'm Diego Dario.
Catch us weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. I'm Paulo Del Rosario, and this has been The Game.